I'm proud of the effort, but I told the guys, I got to go home tonight and look my 8th grade daughter in the eyes, who won a game on Thursday 50-2. So she had technically a better win than us. And then my youngest son, Nathan, and Brad Burgess' son, Morgan, are on a team together, and they won 70-1 today. So it's not often you win by whatever we won by, and you walk in as the third win in the house. But just a great balanced effort all the way around. Every challenge that we threw at them tonight, whether it was to keep them under a certain number of points in this 4 minutes, or get a certain number of assists and all these things, they really stepped up and they did that. So it's easy in games like that where it starts to get out of hand kind of early to give in and get complacent and just go, all right, let's just mess around. But those guys kept playing the right way, and I'm proud of them for that.
How do you navigate messaging to them with margin of victory, and knowing in a game like this that how much you win by is going to impact your net and everything?
Yeah, I mean, what we've talked about is that every possession is important, right? So there's no garbage time, right? Like people have always said that. There's no such thing as that. And again, for all these guys, like we're still, still working minutes out and still kind of getting flow for guys, and so individually it's important that you're playing the right way, but as a team, yeah, it's vitally important. So we don't talk about, oh, it's going to do this to our net or that to our net, but we just talk about like every possession is important. Every single possession matters, right? We need to play basketball the right way, and I thought for the most part tonight we did that on most of those possessions.
24.5 minutes for Keyshawn, 11 points. What do you see out of him tonight?
I saw what I've seen from him for 2.5 years now. Like he can play. And I just said it on the radio. It's the same for any of these guys. Like when you're on a good team, just because you don't play doesn't mean you can't play. So what we saw from him is what we see, every day pretty much in that BBC. He's out there competing, he's out there playing, he's producing. He usually rebounds the ball a little better. He didn't have an offensive rebound, which is probably the first time in a long time he's played a game he didn't get an offensive rebound. But he's a good player. He's a good player, and he's getting better defensively, which is an area where he needs to go. But he brings a motor. He's got an edge to him. He can make a shot. He can score around the rim. He's a good player, and we're counting on him.
So how much of a luxury is it to have? I mean, we're without Furman for however long, but to have a guy that you've spent all last helped lead you to an NCAA tournament. How much of a luxury is it to have that big man just right there for you?
Yeah, it's huge, right? Like it's huge, and that's again, we're built in a certain way where, I can go 1 through 13 right now. Anybody that I'm putting in the game, like I feel very confident in all of them. I really do. That's not coach speak. That's not just trying. No, like I am extremely confident. And Keyshawn's an easy one because I spent so much time with him now. But that's a guy that had 21 and 12 against St. John's last year, right? Like he's not a slouch. He's not just like a throw-in guy. Like he's a guy that you can rely on. He's carried us at different times last year. So, and has had some really, really, really good stretches, through the summer, through the fall. So yeah, it's a luxury, right? Because a lot of people, they go to that bench, and really I could go position by position. Like a lot of people go to that bench and they're like, all right, like let's just hold our breath for these 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Like we go to the bench, and sometimes I look out there and I'm like, man, we look faster, we look better, we look bigger, we look whatever, like more explosive or more cohesive. It's a credit to all these guys.
Will that be an advantage in the Bahamas, 3 games in 3 days, having that depth to be able to turn to in a format like that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, our focus is going to get number 4 on Wednesday, right? Like that's all we have to worry about. But yeah, I mean, again, I go into it feeling comfortable that, okay, if we get to this stage and we got to play this guy or that guy, like we're good, we're fine. Like there's not a job. So yeah, I'm sure over the course of it, we're going to need a little bit from everybody, but only with the mindset of like, we're doing what we have to do to win on Wednesday. That has to be the mindset, just locked into that. Again, we go numbers, we're trying to get number 4.
Are you seeing the guys sort of figuring things out as this new group? I mean, we're only 5 games in, but are you seeing them starting to, okay, they're getting it, they're doing, they're communicating
Yeah, we've been much better with that. You know, like again, I sat in here, whatever that was, and said like still trying to learn the language for like, you know, we're to VCU basketball level 2 now, right? Like I think we did the Duolingo level 1, we're now on level 2. But just the way they're sharing the ball, like I challenged them at halftime, we only had 8 assists, which, you know, the ball wasn't like totally sticking, but there were a couple possessions where we probably over dribbling and challenged them on that, and we get 11 assists in the second half. And, you know, some really, really good ball movement, guys trying to make plays. Even some of the turnovers were like guys trying to make a pass that like, all right, they're trying to force that one, they don't need to force it. But I'd rather that than like, all right, I'm just gonna try and do my thing, right? So, you know, I can live with that stuff. But yeah, you can feel it. And actually one of the referees said to me, he goes, man, you can tell your group really likes playing together. You know, that's a guy that's been around, seen a million teams and a million games. And for him to say that the under 4 last media timeout, like he's like, man, you can tell this team really enjoys playing together. That's a great compliment.
And with respect to Coppin State, they're 364 out of 365 on KenPom. Is it harder to keep that discipline? You know what I mean? To keep everybody communicating, so like I got this turnover, I can easily get, you know, everyone can get to the basket.
Yep.
Is it hard to look like, you know, because like against NC State, every possession is life or death.
Yep.
In Coppin State's not the case. Is it harder to kind of keep them?
Yeah, you worry about that complacency, right?
Yeah.
You worry about human nature kicking in and going like, all right, let me just see if I can go try to do
Yeah.
this right now. Let me try to, but that's why I was super happy about the 11 assists in the second half, that it didn't just turn into like, all right, let me see if I can go, and then, you know, my turn, your turn, my turn. Like, you can't play basketball that way. You know, so the way that they were trying to play together and facilitate to each other and make the right plays and the right reads, you know, that I think speaks volumes in a game like that, because it does. It's easy in human nature to be like, all right, well, I'm just going to not really run back on this possession. I'm really not going to try to move the ball in this possession. I'm not going to, you know, and then you end up like, all right, well, then whatever win becomes a 30-point win, and you get penalized for winning by 30. You know, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Jordan Tillery, 4 of 4 from the field, tied for the team high with 11 points. What have you seen in terms of his growth early in the season as a freshman, ready to contribute for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, he's, again, just because you don't play doesn't mean you can't play. Like, and Jig he can hoop, like he can go. And the hard thing for him has been, you know, as a freshman, he's really in the oldest group. If you break them up kind of positionally, like he's in the oldest group, right? Like Barry's played 100 and some college games. Bam's played 100 and some college games. Tyrell's played, you know, close to 100 college games. Like they're just older. Mike Bell's played, you know, close to 100 games. So you're kind of stuck a little bit, you know, and sometimes it's not about you, it's about, okay, with these other guys and what they're doing. But if you walk in our gym and watch practice, like, there's days you're like, man, he's going. And you see the way those guys react to him. Because he just shows up, he works every day, he puts his head down, does his job. He's tried to learn, he's been extremely coachable. He's like all eyes every time you're telling him something, all eyes and ears, like he's locked in. So it's no surprise, like to see that, it's no surprise, like it's what he does pretty much every day in the gym.
Anything else, Coach?
Did you consider the red shirt at all with him, and remind us what are the rules? Is it complicated with what the playing time threshold is for keeping the red shirt?
So we did talk about it. You know, he wanted to play, and give him credit for that. The red shirt rules, to be honest with you, we have to change them in basketball. In football, you can play 4 games, I think it is, and like you can play in like the bowl game in December, and you can get that year back. In basketball, it's only if you get injured. You can play in exhibitions and scrimmages, but once you play a game, unless it's a medical, you can't get the year back, which is kind of crazy. In this day and age, and I think it was Tommy Lloyd at Arizona, he talked about it a couple weeks ago with like LeBron's son or something, but it's the truth. Like, and I've said it, I used to say it to my compliance people, Brian, like, we got guys that, you know, in this day and age where you're bringing a team together, like, 2 scrimmages or exhibitions is not enough to know, like, all right, who's going to do rotation and all that. Like, not, especially a team like this, like we have. So, like, if we give these kids an opportunity, like, hey, you play a few games and then you get to a certain point, it's like, all right, yeah, you're playing 4 minutes a game, you know, every 3rd game, probably not worth it. But no, he was adamant about wanting to play, about fighting through it and doing his thing. And, you know, this won't be his last moment, I'm sure.
10,000-foot view, leading the whole game, and you got more than half your points off the bench. And coming off NC State, what does this do for you guys going into the Bahamas? Kind of a reset, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to get number 4. Like it's really just get our rest tomorrow, do our prep on Monday, travel down there, do our prep on Tuesday, and then go get number 4 Wednesday. So it's really just that. Like it's just, you know, that 10,000-foot view is hard to look at right now. Like we're in the midst of a big stretch, and it's like, all right, what do we need to do tomorrow? And that's really where we look at it.
Coach, you grew up in a basketball family, so you're used to the holidays being who knows where. But you got your brothers on the staff. I'm sure your wife and kids are gone. Does Pops come down there too?
Yeah, he'll be down.
In the Bahamas?
Yeah, my mom will be there with us. He'll come down. He's doing a game on TV on Tuesday. I think he's getting down. He's trying to get down for the game by game time Wednesday. 2 of my 3 are coming. Philip, he's got practice, so he's staying back. My dad will actually stay with him, and then my sister-in-law will come and bring him up to her house in Annapolis Thanksgiving, and then bring him back so he can be at practice. So, you know, it takes a village. But yeah, we haven't been. Me and Megan, for the longest time, we have not, like, we've spent way more Thanksgivings apart since we've been married now 18 years. We've spent way more Thanksgivings apart than we have together. So to have the kids around and everybody will be fun. We don't have everybody. Jimmy's wife's not coming. 2 of his girls are staying back because they got sports. But yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to be there. We'll do a Thanksgiving dinner for the team on Monday night, since we'll be busy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Follow-up question: What are your 2 favorite items off of Thanksgiving plate?
Pumpkin pie. Gotta have pumpkin pie. I mean the turkey. I'm a turkey with a little bit of gravy, some salt, pepper. Like I'm pretty basic.
There you go.
Coach,
Go.
as a trading card guy, and I saw you did the deal with my guys at Gravos.
Awesome. Those dudes are awesome.
Packs and
That place
stuff.
is cool.
How surreal is it to see yourself on the giveaway on one of those cards today?
Honestly, somebody, 2 people had me ask me to sign them out there. And I hadn't seen them, so I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't even really look. So, I mean, I guess it's better to be on that than like a wanted ad. Before we leave, though, I do want to say quickly, and hopefully we can get this out. Like, one, congrats to Tim Doyle in volleyball. Playing for the championship tomorrow, 12 o'clock. We need as many people there as can be there. We were able to bring the team over yesterday we pushed practice back an hour, so we were able to see the first 2 sets. But you know, playing for a championship is really, really, really special, and they deserve, you know, as much support as we can get out there. So let's get out there and support them. And a huge thank you to our facilities people. I mean, the work they've been doing this week to turn this around. This was not easy to play 2 volleyball games, to get the baskets back in, to get the lines pulled up, get the nets up, and they're already out there, you know, changing it over. You know, this isn't like an NBA arena where you got, you know, 200 staff members that are coming in and flipping, you know, the basketball court to an ice arena. But a huge thank you to all of them, you know, especially Nate and Taylor, who kind of spearhead a lot of that. But you know, there's a whole crew of them, and you know, thank you to them. Huge thank you to them. Because again, you know, we get to go play a game and have people in here to play a game. They are doing the real work, you know, all morning, all afternoon, and all night tonight to get this ready so that you know, our volleyball team can cut down the nets tomorrow. I don't know if they cut down the nets. I'm bringing scissors. I'll bring scissors. One way or another, either we're going to follow tradition and they're going to cut down the net, or I'm bringing scissors for them and we're going to start the tradition and cut the net. So congrats to them and good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Phil, thank you, man.
Thanks, Kevin.
And I feel like